Yeah, and so we went to see Over Your Dead Body, right? As it starts, I was like, all right. Like I wasn't really vibing it all the way at the start, right? I was like, when is this going to fall apart? How will this not work? I have to say, by the time we left the theater, I was like, I don't know how I don't give this movie just a fucking 5 out of 5. Just one of the best in-theater experiences I've had in years. It's the best comedy I've seen in years. It's fucking graphic and violence, and it just hits on all cylinders. And I'm really in my brain, I was like, is this the best movie I've seen all year? Even more enjoyable and to my taste than Project Hail Mary. Like, that's how good I thought this movie was when it ended.
See, I think Project Hail Mary is like a seminal movie. It's going to be like one of those, like, it's not quite as good as Jurassic Park. I'm not going to say that. But I think it's up there with, like, that type of movie.
Well, yeah, I think it's going to be one of those big, like, you know, whether it's Inception or those kind of movies that hit and are just so gargantuan.
I feel like this movie is more akin to, like, Grosse Point Blank. To where it's like, or like,
wow, great pull.
what's the Robert Downey Jr. Bang Bang Kiss Bang?
Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Yes, I feel like it's akin to that, and to where it's going to be like this under the radar kind of hit.
Yeah,
and like a cult. Like,
I do think the saddest thing, I don't know how much this is going to do in theaters. When this thing hits streaming, it is going to spread like wildfire. Everyone's going to be like, you got to watch that fucking movie. It is so goddamn funny, and the thing that I was shocked by, I was not prepared for how ultra-violent it would be. This movie
it got gnarly.
Hit all of the things I love about the movie experience. And they even have a joke at the end, right? And it's like, oh, you're making a movie. And he's like, yes, for streaming. And his wife goes, yes, it's good. And that's okay.
Just
and he
as
goes,
good.
Maybe it's better. And we were kind of laughing. But this movie... I know I'm not always a proponent that every movie has to be seen theatrically. Mm-hmm. This is a movie that, God, if you could take this back to like when we were teenagers and the movies were packed every week, this would have been one of the best packed theater movies I've ever seen.
This isn't like you need to see this on a big screen because it has crazy effects or anything. It's not about the size of the screen. It's more about you need to see this with a group of people more so. Right?
Yep. Yeah. Like my mom went, and my mom is a notorious, like, as she's aging, she just like makes like guttural, visceral sounds like, ooh! Like they played the trailer for the new Insidious movie, and when they did the double teeth gag, my mom went, whoa! And it was just fucking great. And she was squirming, and like there's a scene with a lawnmower we'll get to, and she was just, no, like her eyes were tearing up. And then like 10 seconds later, she's fucking laughing. And I was like, it's such a yo-yo.
Yeah, like a roller coaster.
Yeah, and the thing that's so beautiful about this one is how brilliantly, when it starts getting so much more graphic, it feels like it's running this risk of like, oh, this is not the same movie I'm in. It's going to lose the thread. And they always, I mean, the directing was just masterful at this. They always knew how to keep the tempo. Yeah. And they always would change at just the right time where you needed a joke, you needed a punch, to where you could make the violence so much more insane.
Continuously throughout the entire movie, like you were thinking, at some point this is going to go off a cliff. This is no longer going to be funny. This is going to turn really fucking dark. And it just never did.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just kept that whole... It was... I wouldn't say it's lighthearted. But I'd say whatever you're talking about with your mom and how it brings her back from the to the that's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Like they did that so well.
Yeah, they always found a way. And again, it's just a movie where it's hard to even like figure out where to start. Like it's
I
just
started
such
thinking
a
this
fucking
movie
perfect movie.
was probably written by British people. You know what this reminded me of? Do you remember Pirates of the Caribbean?
Yeah.
I felt like the amount of like joke per minute and like the fact that they all worked, like, and there weren't that many puns in this movie, but it felt like very that style of how every little second has to count for something, and every shot mattered.
Everything
like
had to come
everything
back.
added up, everything came back, and there was stuff that just flew under the radar. That it's just like. It's going to lead to second and third watchings of this movie where you notice more stuff, and I think it's incredible.
Yeah, well, even because it starts essentially the premise of the movie is Jason Segel is a commercial director, right? A very unhappy guy, and he's clearly planning on killing his wife, right? So he's kind of getting his tools ready. He's telling this bullshit story about how she's going to go hike alone, and it might fucking snow up there, and he's really scared. Like someone he kind of knows.
Very obviously too. Yeah,
and he keeps telling. He tells his dad. He's telling all these people, right? And they, so he's setting this all up. We meet Samara Weaving, and it's like, all right, she's not very nice to him. They're fighting. They're bickering.
Hey, did you know she was Was she Australian?
Yes.
Okay. Because, dude, her voice, I don't like Australian voices, I guess, after this movie.
I kind of thought that, too. I was like, it was a little jarring for me at the start.
But, I mean, she's obviously doing it on purpose, right?
Well, no, it's one of those weird
like,
things where I was just like, it almost sounded like she was doing a bad accent to me at the start because I'm so used to hearing her American voice.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's fucking great in this. But they go to the cabin. He's going to kill her. But even as they're like walking in and they're kind of like prepping the house, there was just little things. Like the first time they walked through, I was like, why is there a knife missing in that knife block?
Yeah.
Right? Just like weird little shit where I was like, that means something. I don't know what.
Why is the key 3 inches off
is the
where it
key?
normally
There were all
is?
these little things where I was just like, okay. And we had seen a report of criminals on the dad's TV, right? So you're like, I know they'll be there somewhere, but
I missed that part.
I
I
did
didn't
too.
see
yeah,
that part.
I thought there was a pretty fun kind of. It's one of those movies like it's not even you don't get ahead of it, like you don't know what's coming. You don't want to. You just want to sit in the ride because there's no moment in this where it dulls down.
Well,
or you're uninvested, where you start being like, all right, what are we doing?
There's no way anybody on Earth could have. I'm going to go ahead and say there's no way anybody on Earth could have predicted this movie. Like nothing.
Unless you had seen the original, apparently.
Well, I get. Yeah, it
this
is a Norwegian
remake of a Norwegian film that they actually shot in Finland, which I thought was funny.
So this is technically another Norwegian film.
Another Finnish movie.
Made by Americans.
Yeah.
But yeah, I felt like nothing was predictable. Like every single thing surprised me.
Yeah.
Do you want to get into any of that, or you want to tell the story first?
Let's just start. So as it gets in, I do think the movie hits this point pretty early on, right? Where he's like planning how he's going to kill her. They're having dinner. They're setting up their kind of like Rocky Road relationship, right? When he gets she tases him, right? In this fucking hilarious scene, she tases him, and it goes on for so fucking long.
It's a lot of beats.
So long, and it just pulls on Segel like, and she's like, ew. And he wakes up tied up. And they have this mechanic they do where they go, 3 days earlier, and they jump back to Samara weaving and her planning to kill her husband, right? Mm-hmm. And she's setting up like, oh, he wants to go hunting. So it starts on
Jason Segel's plan.
Yeah.
And then didn't they do the flashback thing?
I feel like you keep saying Segel, like you think he's related to Steven Seagal. Segel.
Is he's not related to Steven Seagal?
I'm guessing
What's
not.
his name? His name is Segel, like the bird?
I think so.
That's not as cool.
Segel? It's not Seagal. That's what I want to get at.
Well, I'm going to call him
not related to
Jason
Steven
Seagal, and he probably knows Aikido, which explains a lot of this movie.
He should be better at it.
And I forgot what point I was trying to make. Oh, yeah. So they do a good job of, they start with him, and then they cut into the flashback, and instantly I'm like, fuck this. I hate flashbacks. But every single one of them were amazing.
Yeah, I mean, you could argue that one of the flashbacks is the best thing in the movie.
It's the best thing in the movie.
Because for me, that's the moment in the film where I was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, I've got to watch all this again.
Because it becomes this thing like, okay, so she's trying to kill him, and I was like, is this going to be some kind of weird, clever one-upsmanship where we're going to keep going back in time and someone else did this and this. And it's going to be this. I was like, I'm not really that interested in that version of the movie.
Yeah.
And man,
Steven Soderbergh.
Again, they kept finding these beautiful ways to just add another character or another element that made it so funny, right? Jason Segel's buddy comes, Henry, right? And he's now part of the plan. And then that shifts, right?
I forgot about him. Henry might be the saddest and most like
he has a very sad run.
Like,
in this
dude,
movie.
it's like nothing worked out for this guy.
I would say Henry or Kevin, the guy who works at the dad's nursing home, where he just yells at him all the time and beats him up and steals his
car. Did get totaled. Yes.
Yeah, so that guy has a bad run. He's just trying to do his job, and we never hear him be a dick the whole movie. He's just seemed like a pretty responsible. And
everyone's
guy.
kind of an asshole to Kevin.
Yeah, everyone's mean to Kevin.
That's how nursing homes are. Actually, that's the thing about this movie is even though it is like it's like I don't know if it's not a satire, but it's like an extreme comedy. I don't know what the word is for that.
It's kind of a dark comedy.
It's like everything seems a little bit off, right? But I feel like everything is rooted in reality. Like the nursing home felt like when I went to visit my mom at the nursing home and she was yelling at all the people walking by. I'm like, these old people are fucking crazy, dude. They do that.
They start getting mad and losing their marbles and shit.
Like,
but again, I think it's that when you just keep finding ways to add new elements, I found myself being like, oh, we're gonna make it, right? Mm-hmm. Like when the criminals pop in, I just went, fuck, all right, this is gonna switch everything, and I'm not gonna and it just kept working. It never didn't work. And again, that opening, because I remember I was listening to someone, it was McConaughey, right? And he said one of the things he mourns in modern cinema is the disappearance of Act One.
Yeah.
Right? That now movies have to start so fucking fast and grab your attention because people just turn it off on streaming. Like we're designed now to not want to
Which is I do enjoy when movie like They Will Kill You.
Yeah.
That movie just started off right. And I feel like that it depends on the movie. Like some movies can work, like John Wick. can just start right off. You don't give a fuck. But yeah, I kind of agree with him. Act 1 was always my favorite.
Well, it's that setting up a world, and this one again, I think this movie having this good of a cast, I think makes it something where you can get away with that a little more. Because man, they are just unbearable to spend time with. You're like, I hate this fucking couple. I kind of want them both to die. Like, I'm not really rooting for Jason Segel. He's kind of a skeezy,
you don't
murderous
like either
weirdo.
one of them. Mm-hmm.
And she also sucks a lot, it seems like. He's way worse. But she's just very mean to him. And I was like, man, this isn't a good hang. Mm-hmm. And you're like, okay.
I think they play on a lot of the stuff that, like, it's a minor scale, but like a lot of the things that we are actually experiencing in our, that's what I think ties this movie back to reality. It's because all of it is theoretically possible, but this is just like an extreme version of. Because you hear stories all the time.
It's Home Alone-like.
You hear stories all the time about people killing their family members for insurance, right?
Yeah.
And they're always so dark and just boring, and it's like, And then they somehow made this one fun, and you end up, by the end of the movie, liking both of the characters, even though they start off. I mean, that's the classic arc, right? That's what we're all trying to do with our movies, is to create this arc. And I feel like they pulled it off.
Yeah, it is kind of a weird movie, too, like jumping to the end, right? Like, you know when the criminals show up, you're like, oh my God, they're going to get away with this. And it weirdly doesn't unravel the movie at all. You're just like, you get the sense, you're like, I see what's going to happen, right? They're going to make a movie together and be fine. Like, you know it's coming.
Well, no.
And but that's the thing, when it gets to the end, they do the Gone Girl thing. Where it's like, she's crying and acting. He's like, great acting. And he's like, I just, love got us through it. And they walk past the like paparazzi into their house and they both kind of smile. Yeah. And you're like, that's actually fucking very dark and twisted.
Oh, yeah.
Like they did defeat bad guys who tried to kill them, but also
success brings us all together. The whole point of the movie is that will save your marriage.
And trauma bonding.
And the dad said it best when he went to visit him at the nursing home. He says, all you need is a war. And
I wish a war upon you, son.
Everything will be okay.
Dad. Yeah. Well,
and it ended up being okay.
It's fucking
but
dark.
Also, I feel
they did actually kill Henry. Like, the movie kind of, like, by the end.
They killed Henry?
Yeah, because they go through the straw dog, right, where it's like they're fighting all the bad guys. So at the end, you're like, look, they fucking fought together and they love each other. You're like, oh, yeah, when they were fighting for the gun, they fucking 100% killed Henry.
They killed his friend.
Yeah,
Henry.
So it's like, these are murderers.
Yeah.
And I guess the message of the movie is, if you just have money, marriage is a lot easier, which is true, right? Like, most marriages end because of
I think they made Henry into this like depressing character in order to make it okay.
He was so great. He's just like, he's like, I just want us. I'll do it.
I just want
for
to hang
half
out
the
with
money. He's like, I just want us to hang out more, and I want that in writing. He's like, I'm not putting it in fucking writing. That I'm going to hang out with you after we murder my wife, right? And I was like, it was so sad,
dude.
And then at the end, when they start fighting, because she tells him the life insurance was actually for $1 million and not $100,000, and he goes, "You lied to me." And it wasn't about money, and they start fighting, and he just goes, "You never wanted to be my friend." And I was like, oh my God, it's so sad and horrible.
And you kind of rooted for him a minute when he got the balls to turn the gun on him and say, you kind of rooting for Henry.
Yeah.
I think another thing this movie does really well is you never fully get out of the initial idea that they're trying to kill each other for the money, right? Even till the very end when spoiler, he's hanging on by a thread, he's about to be dragged down, and she could just let him go and collect the money, and he's okay with it. He's like, you win. I'm sorry.
That is a good point, because I knew that they were going to make a movie about what they encountered. But even up to the last shot when they were on the dock together, there was a small part of me that's like, this is the kind of movie where
if someone died, it'd be better.
They might still do it.
Yeah.
They might still do it.
Well, and they set that up so many times. Like, whoever wrote this is a genius. Iron Mind. But it was relentless. Like, he runs out of the room, and you're thinking, oh, he's running. He's just going to let her die and collect all the money. But then he comes back and hits him. And then the same thing. She runs out of the room, comes back and saves him. And so the entire movie, you're like, is one of these people just going to be like, this is my opportunity to get what I originally wanted?
Yeah.
Throughout the entire... And it could have ended that way, and I would have been fine with it. If it ended with both of them just dying by these criminals, I would have been fine with it. Like, this movie had so many possibilities.
Yeah, and it's one of those, too, again... The cast is so fucking charming that at the end you're like, even though they're fucking
you're rooting for
horrible
everybody.
Trash people, you're still like, I want one of them to win.
I want somebody.
Right?
I like all these people.
Like, had she let him go at the end, that feels a little more Titanic. Like, maybe you could get away with that one. But, like, had she let him push him into the lawnmower and then survives, like, the audience might have turned on her and hated her, right? So they found the right lane. Mm-hmm. But, man, I just couldn't believe how many twists and turns just kept popping up, and because that's the kind of movie normally that fucking wears me out.
Yeah.
Where it's like you're trying to be so clever
so
constantly.
Many characters.
And, you know, even if you're right 5 out of 8 times, those 3 really derail a movie and make it hard to sit with. Where you're like, well, okay, you're really cool and smart. This one just didn't miss. Like every new delivery works. So let's talk about this. We talked a little bit about the device of every time a character comes, we would jump back in time and show their story, right? I really hate the jumping back in time to something that's before now. I just have never liked that mechanic in filmmaking. I feel like it's very disruptive and rarely works for me.
It's usually better to tell it in the scene, right?
Yeah.
To explain the past in the scene that you're actually watching.
Yeah, I mean, some movies have done this, obviously. Like early Tarantino, he was always jumping all over the place, and he was very good at it. But I feel like a lot of people were just trying to ape Tarantino style and like ruin that.
Well, and it's like an easy way to create confusion where there shouldn't be any confusion.
Yeah.
And it's just a film, like a device, like you said.
Yeah.
And sometimes people use devices wrong.
Yeah, well, that device, like one of the things I always hate is when you show me a scene from the very end of the movie to start the movie. Mm-hmm. I fucking hate that. And so I started to get worried. I actually think they were amazingly successful at this. What did you guys think of the use of this device in the film?
Oh, the flashbacks? Dude, every single flashback. I mean, there were only 3, right?
Because we went back to her. We went back for Henry. We went back for the criminals. We went back for the dad. So there were at least 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah, I forgot about the Henry. Yeah. I somehow... Poor Henry, man.
Poor Henry. We keep coming back to it. Poor Henry.
Yeah, I thought they were all great. I especially loved the dad, obviously.
Yeah. Well, we were talking about that. We were fucking dying in the theater. And I told you on the drive home, Nick, I was like, this is the best scene in the movie. And it's not even close. Nothing else in the movie compares to that little segment.
And they do like I'm going to call it a SpongeBob flash forward or make fun of the time frame.
Yeah, that's right.
3 minutes later, where it's just an old guy talking. It's like, just get to the fucking point. And they do.
You know, I like to take the back road to the store.
I was going to the convenience store.
It's a time jump back for us that then time jumps forward.
So technically there were 5.
Yeah. He's so good. But when the dad gets out and he fucking hits the Kevin dude and takes his car and it's just blasting like club anthems and he's like, music off, fuck you. But then at the end, right, he's driving, he's like, this is how I fuck when I party. And he's like singing along with it. And he's fucking driving like he's in Fast and the Furious. I was like, this is amazing. This is exactly.
Well, and you have to imagine, since they said 6 hours earlier, this dude has been driving for 4+ hours.
Stop for gas.
And he did stop for gas and didn't pay for it.
No, because it was empty. And he goes, Kevin, you asshole. He goes, a cupcake, fill me up. He goes to hand him a receipt. No,
that's what I'm talking about, man. Those little things that like tie it back to reality. And that's like something my dad or grandpa would have complained about. Like, oh, you didn't fill up the gas tank before I stole
car
it?
that I just stole. Yeah.
It's so good, man.
Yeah, and I gotta say, if we're ranking people in this movie, Grandpa won that movie by mile. Like him showing up and he gets fucking stabbed. He's like, because he fucking blows Keith Jardine's head off. Like that was one of the that was where the violence started getting really, really graphic. So we had a lawnmower that was just freaking my mom out. Timothy Olyphant's gonna put Jason Segel's face in the lawnmower. And my mom was like crying. She was so afraid, anticipating it. Mm-hmm. And then the grandpa gets out, and he runs over Timothy Olyphant. He gets the gun. He blows Keith Jardine's head off. And Samara Weaving just crushes this moment where she kind of freezes and looks back and he just goes, "You all right, honey?" And she just goes,
"Yeah."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was so fucking funny. And he turns around and then Julliette Lewis runs up and knifes him in the back. And he's like, ah. And all of a sudden he's bent over and Olyphant does like the classic psychopath thing where he's in his face like, "You gonna die, old man?" He goes, "No, I'm going to eat your nose." And bites his nose. He's like, "Got your nose." And they start fighting. And it's just like, this is incredible. And
it's just relentless. Yeah.
And then, of course, there were 2 moments, or that was the moment in the movie. I was like, man, these people, they keep reminding us these are not good people to root for.
Yeah.
When he's just like, "Kevin, run." And they just run to the car and leave the old man to get thrown stomach first into the fucking lawnmower.
I know. And then he decides,
like,
I got to stand up for myself.
Yeah. Now I got to start fighting for things.
Well, he does, and not until the car crashes. He was out. He was going to
they were going to.
Well, he did say at the car crash he wants to start communicating more honestly.
Yeah.
Because she's like, "How bad is it?" 'Cause her hair's falling out and her ear got hit with
really
a gun. And he's like, "It's fine." And he hangs her little hair over what's left of her ear. And then he goes, Actually, I don't want to lie anymore. It's fucking horrible. It's a terrible tragedy. The side of your face.
He just changes his ways. Yeah,
it was so great.
Hey, to be fair, his dad did say, I think when he left, he's like, I should have died in the war.
Well, that's what he said. He's like, I want to die in war. I don't want to die here in this small room. It was too sad for him. So he kind of got the glorious ending. A lot of different
layers to this movie.
I also was like, Jason Segel, go fucking try to save your dad.
Well, now would be the time
with all the news coverage, though. They kept talking about the hero dad who showed up and saved him, and his like military picture was in the papers and shit.
So he got it in the end.
He got what he wanted, I guess.
And they kind of not only said that, he was in the war. Did you see like when they were in the house in the basement had like 3 Purple Heart, a Bronze Star?
I didn't even notice that.
It was on the shelf. Oh,
yeah,
that was his dad.
He was like a real badass soldier.
Yeah, a real man showed up and shot Keith Jardine in the head, and everyone's like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, basically. So good. Okay, so this is another thing in the movie, right? As we're kind of unfurling the who's going to kill who, they're fighting through the house. They have the gun. She fucking stabs Jason Segel in the foot, which is just one of my favorite little bits. That's where the movie's starting to be like, oh, okay, we're going to do this. It's going to be like a more violent Mr. and Mrs. Smith, right? Like a funny, more violent version of that. Then they go upstairs and the gun goes off again. It keeps shooting when they're both holding it, right?
Yeah.
And you hear a sound and the criminals fall through the roof, right? We do our flashback that the criminals got out because Julliette Lewis was a parole guard or a prison guard. Timothy Olyphant's fucking her. So she falls in love and they break them out, right? They're upstairs hiding in the attic because they don't want to jump anyone and raise alarms. They're just going to wait them out, right? Which is a weird strategy. We're like, all right, give them one. And when they hear all the fighting, they're doing a charades game where for like 6 or 8 hours, Keith Jardine's trying to guess her favorite movie based on charades.
2 words.
Yeah, and she kept doing this. And then, she would do this and he would go, nose. And it's such a funny little like passing the time bit.
Yeah.
And the gun shoots him in the butt and balls area. They fall through the floor right as he guesses Mamma Mia.
Yeah.
And that's when the movie starts. Did you at any moment think, oh, no? Because we go to the basement. We wake up in the basement. And I was like, this feels like it's going to get way darker than I was expecting. They play a game with Jason Segel. Because Timothy Olyphant's like, I saw your one movie. I really liked it.
Yeah, that scene was kind of cool.
But that's happening while... They had drawn a circle on the floor, and you're like, what the fuck is Keith Jardine doing? He's like this huge ex-UFC fighter, right? If you remember Keith Jardine.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about how he had the crazy, like, methed-out homeless guy fighting style, if you've ever seen his fights.
I believe his fighting name was Mean Keith Jardine.
Yeah. Mean Keith Jardine.
He was a badass,
He was fucking cool, man.
Probably still is a badass, honestly.
Yeah, he looks like he's still a badass. Yeah, I think he would probably fuck everyone up.
Yeah.
But he is drawing a circle, and you're like, that's a weird. Why is this happening?
Let's play a game.
Like, we're gonna play a game called "Don't Get Fucked" or whatever. And it's like, what's the rules of the game? You can't leave the circle, and you have to try to not get fucked. And I was like, what's happening?
And if you win, you get a pack of cigarettes or something.
Yeah. And if you lose,
you get fucked.
You get fucked, right? And it's like it's a prison game. And he leaves the circle, and they're like, you broke the rules. They haven't bent over the table. Keith Jardine's behind him. And he's trying to like fap himself up. And I was like, there's no way we're about to watch Jason Segel get butt fucked, are we? Like, there's no fucking universe where we're about to watch this as they talk about his one movie that Timothy Olyphant liked. I was like, no. And Keith Jardine, and there's just some great sound effect work. And he just goes, sorry, ain't happening. Like, you can't get hard.
Thank God.
To try not to get fucked. And you're just like, oh, okay, we dodged a bullet on that one. Was there any moment for you guys when we hit the basement where you thought the wheels were coming off and that the movie was going to derail? Because I had a small moment.
Really?
Yeah, where I was like, this feels like we're turning into a different, like, they're going to get off easy and whatever. It obviously all worked out.
Dude, I think that they might have been thinking that as far as the pacing of the script, because as soon as they crashed through and he said, that's your favorite movie? That's what I was thinking about. I wasn't thinking about the other shit. I wasn't thinking about any of the like logic behind any of this. I was just thinking, what the fuck was he talking about? And I feel like they left those breadcrumbs so that we would stay interested. And maybe just to keep us on our toes about like how is this story actually unfolding? Mm-hmm. And then they went into the flashback and it paid off. And then as soon as they got to the basement, I was just ready to see what happened next. I was not thinking.
Yeah, that's when the movie.
I was thinking, how the fuck are they going to get out of this?
Let's play the game. Don't get fucked. Yeah, you're like, okay, we're going way deeper into things than I thought. No pun intended. But I was like, this is going to be a fucking wild ride. And I think at that point, you kind of like,
you just go with it.
yeah, you're like, okay, I think we're going to be fine. Because there was a moment where I was like, oh, this is going to be like, yeah, Home Alone, and then they're going to win. And to be fair, it kind of was just awesome. And again, I got to say, Keith Jardine is a former athlete, now turned actor.
Mm-hmm.
He's fucking great in this movie.
His timing was
Timothy
great.
Olyphant's great. Juliette Lewis, they've been like award-winning actors. They're very famous. He's fucking amazing.
He might have actually stole the villain. I
See,
feel like he
I
might
think
have been
he was
the best
stealing,
one. Yeah.
He was stealing some of the scenes for me. Like, he was such a
Dude,
beautiful
anytime he was on the
punctuation.
screen, I was only interested in what he was having to say. Like, they're both great. Juliette and Timothy Olyphant, they're incredible actors, and I've been watching them for years. But like having Keith Jardine have so many lines and just kind of showcases his comedy talent, I thought.
Yeah,
it was
and
so
he
good.
was so good and natural about like not trying to sell the funny.
Yeah.
He's just kind of like really
And-
inhabiting a guy.
And you might say that it's easy for someone that looks like him and is as big as him to be intimidating, but he did it so well. Like when he would joke, when he was like, I'm not touching you, and then he would just stop and stare at her. I was like, Jesus fucking Christ.
Oh, well, dude, he has the Terminator scene in the movie when he's fighting them through the house. And that scene in the kitchen where he like fucking front kicks Segel through the door.
Yeah.
He fucking slams Samara weaving through the cabinets. He's just beating everyone's ass all over that whole house. And this is one of my favorite gags in the movie. She stabs him and he just kind of looks at her and he keeps choking Jason Segel. And so she runs over and gets the whole wood block of knives and is like, ah! And just fucking stabbing him
She's
with
so
every
good
knife
too
in the
because she
block.
walks over. She's like, okay, all right.
Yeah. And he's just and he keeps going. And when he turns on her,
Yeah,
you're
I
like,
know.
holy shit, I would just shit my pants and I'd jump
dude.
out of a window. I'd do anything to not be in a room with that guy.
Yeah.
He sold the fuck
He's
out
got
of that.
nothing left to lose.
And then Segel hits him in the back of the head, and you're like, oh, they fucking killed Todd. And, Juliette Lewis is screaming, like, Todd was such a great person. Why'd you
Why
tell
would
him?
anybody hurt
Yeah,
him?
he was such a sweet man. And then he comes back, and he's got a knife to her throat, and you're like, oh, my God,
Well, not
this
only
guy
that,
is the Terminator.
okay, so they did that very well. He stabbed him in the back of the head with the eagle, which might be symbolism for something, but I don't know. And then he turns around, and you're like, fuck, how is he not dead? And he walks like 3 or 4 more steps towards him, and then crumples. And
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, he's finally dead.
Yeah. Well, I think it was also setting him up as like this unstoppable badass, and then the dad just wastes him immediately, and
Yeah.
you're like, okay, the powers have
Yeah.
shifted in a badass
The
fight.
World War II guy.
Yeah, dude, that's the point of the movie. Like, once they get past that, and like Keith Jardine's doing his thing, you're just like, fuck, this movie is so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so incredible. So here's another thing. This is the part of the movie where it really shifts on us. In no fucking universe would I have ever thought this movie was going to show me some of the things that we saw. Right? The infinite amount of stabbings, the beatings, the fucking just
What was
brutal.
the
This
first-
was like a knockdown, drag out movie. This was fucking
Was the knife
mean.
in the foot the first moment you realized that?
That was kind of, well, see, that feels normal.
For
like,
me, it was the fingers in the lawnmower.
that
When he
was
lost
one.
his fingers, I was like, oh, this
Well,
is
I guess you would
this is
say,
getting real.
yeah, him trying to rape Jason Segel. You're like, that's intense.
I
And they're
never
doing a
thought
lot
that
of
would happen,
violence. And like Jardine's beating the shit out of them. But yeah, once the fingers go off with the lawnmower, you're like, oh, we're hitting a whole other level of depravity that I was not expecting. Because then, yeah, Juliette Lewis
losing
gets her
limbs.
fucking foot blown in half. And the scene where she's trying to put that back together, Steve went, right, with us, and he was just laughing his ass off. While my mom and some of us were like, and I was like, that's the beautiful microcosm of this movie. It is like truly sick and depraved, but also you just cannot fucking help but find the humor in it.
Yeah.
I had a hard time, like, I was looking away, I was laughing, and the whole time, like, I want to see what she's doing, but I don't like,
Yeah.
it makes me a little queasy, and then,
Yeah.
I don't know, this toe goes here, and then
Well,
snaps it all together.
the sound effects for that scene, dude, like the squishing and the.
Yeah, well, I remember I was just kind of looking at it, and I was like, why is that one toe so much longer? And I was just like, ugh,
Yeah, no.
ugh. And the more I was like,
Well,
'cause
because
I
it got
wanted to
blown
look
off, basically.
Yeah, I wanted to like figure out the answer, but also I was fucking like, ugh, ugh. Like I hate that shit.
Then she finally gets it fixed. She gets it all wrapped up and bandaged. She puts alcohol on it. She's got her leg propped up on the coffee table. Life is good. And then Jason Segel comes up and just gives her a heel kick and snaps her.
Yeah, snaps
leg.
her fucking leg in half. Yeah. Again, that's another one of his. Again, Segel, not Seagal. He's not Steven
Segel.
Seagal's cousin. I do think it's one of those, like, we don't have a lot of comedy actors that are just that fucking huge.
Yeah.
Like, he actually is a huge guy. So, like, when he turns in that moment, like, I thought his performance was awesome in that moment.
Great.
Like, he kind of was, like, giving a little, like, psychopath.
Oh, yeah.
And you're like, I'm buying this 100%. Like, I'm really buying what is going on in this moment. Because he has the, you know, oh, we got a wiggler. And he's like, I want my shirt back. And you're like, oh, my God, where is this scene going? The scene ends with him fucking shooting her in the fucking face and us showing us the cavern.
Yeah.
And I was like, I literally could not believe how fucking much of it was on screen.
They had a still frame of him. I think it was in that same scene where they kind of hold on him for a pan. There's no talking. There's no anything. It's just him big-eyed, scarred up and everything. It's like, dude, he could be a fucking horror person.
Yeah.
He has nailed it.
He's so fucking good. Like, that guy has never missed for me. I just love him in everything. And again, it's just, I love the use of practical effects. Like, that toe scene's a great example. These are mostly practical, you know, except for the fingers and the gun wounds and shit. But they really went in and did the work. And those practical, that foot bit is one of the gnarliest things I've seen in a movie in a while. And it's very simple, but just done so well. And Julliette Lewis is selling the fuck out of it, right? Pouring all the vodka. And when she finally is actually like, it's fine. This is okay. And it's like, that use of practical, though, I think is another thing that's going to really elevate this movie for people who are more into the horror community.
Yeah. And we don't talk about how she got her foot shot off because it is a great, badass shot that kind of is almost a throwaway scene. He shoots his head off and then he's pinned up and he just, while the gun's at his hip, pops right into her foot. And
yeah, well, because he turns
like,
around
is he going to kill just
Olyphant.
Everybody?
Well, that's what I thought he was going to clean house and it was going to be over.
Well,
but
he would have actually just shot everybody, I feel like, but they had to make it into a movie. And I feel like that showcases why he got those awards, right? Why he didn't die in the war is because he's always thinking, even when he's wounded, he knows to shoot her in the foot to get her off him. And then when he's about to die, he bites his nose. I just feel like that's who he is, you know?
It was great.
And he had that heroic moment, run. But I thought the practical effects, the ending has some really good one. When they hit Olyphant in the leg with the anchor, you're just like, Jesus. Like, the squirming in your seat was not the movie I thought I was watching. I thought this was going to be like a whodunit mystery thing. I had no fucking idea.
Well, and the entire time they were fighting, or through the numerous fights in this movie, right? I was thinking, you guys are actually a pretty good couple because I feel like you could honestly say the theme of this movie is teamwork, right? And while individually they kind of suck at everything, but together they fuck people. They fucked up Keith Jardine.
Yeah, I did like
they fight well together.
They don't ever have the moment where like they turn into like badasses. They always are kind of.
It's just by the skin of
not
their
good
teeth.
at. Like even when she tries to shoot Olyphant and she bounces it off the motor, and he's just like, "Jeez."
I love that because they could have easily turned that into like a badass chick moment where she's like, boom, and then his like chest catches on fire. And
well, they even made fun of it at the end, like when the couple survives, right? And she's like, "I got a plan to fix our whole lives." They show at the end they're redoing the movie.
The actual movie.
They're making the Kumail Nanjiani now is the he's the ripped version of him. So when he's about to get butt fucked, he gets up and takes his shirt off and he's like, "Let's go." Yeah. And she's dressed like she's in the Matrix, just beating everyone.
She's wearing leather for some reason.
Yeah, and you're like, so they were kind of like very aware not to make it like that.
So
but even the end, like just the perfection of the beats, right? Like Segel jumps. And he sees the boat going and he grabs the rope and gets fucking yanked off. And it's hilarious. And of course, he crawls up, which is a little superhuman-y. But he does that fucking great shot they have in movies where he balls up his fist and looks. And I was like, oh, here we go. And he swings and misses. And Olyphant just fucking drills him. And then he stands up. He's like, "Get away from my wife." And like he throws up for what feels like minutes. And Olyphant's just kind of like, "Oh, God, you're so pathetic and lame." And it was just fucking great. And they brought back the boat rocks. Like literally everything in this movie hooks. Like when Olyphant, right, when he's in there fighting and the roof collapses. The can he made her piss in falls down. And
I was waiting for that callback for so long. It was just for a little joke, not a huge one. It's just, oh, gross.
It's just a throwaway joke, but it works so well.
I didn't even think of it as a comeback. And then as soon as they cut to that above shot, you're like, he's got to get the piss on him. Yeah. It's just one of those uproarious movies. Yeah. Like, it is just Like, to me, that's the thing. When I think of theatrical experience, I don't really give a fuck about IMAX. Top Gun Maverick is not way better for me because it's louder and bigger, right? When I think of why theaters matter, it's exactly for this movie. It is so you can hear the experience with others. You can feel the energy in the room as we're like, holy shit, we are in a car with no fucking brakes going as fast as we can towards the edge of a cliff, and it's so fucking fun.
Yeah, hell yeah.
This is what movie theaters are designed for. And again, Project Hail Mary is like a technical masterpiece and a feat. It's the best audiobook I've ever read. I was really into that movie. I would watch this 9 times out of 10 versus like Project Hail Mary. I might watch once, twice more my whole life. I feel like this is one of those every time people are here and it's like, you haven't seen Over Your Dead Body? I will be so excited to make other people watch this.
You want to show this movie to other people.
Oh, and it's like when we were leaving the theater, the guy that collects the tickets, he heard us like cackling and belly laughing and talking about it. He goes, "What did you guys come out of?" I go, "Oh, Over Your Dead Body." He goes, "Oh, I'm going to have to go see that." It's just, he's in the theater and he's like, "Oh, maybe I'll give that one a chance." I'll rewatch that several times. It's great.
Yeah, we've talked on the pod. I can't remember what movie it was, but there was a movie we did, and I was like, I had seen that trailer for that movie at least 80 times. Like, they had been marketing this movie for what felt like 2 years. Before every horror movie we went, there was that trailer. And you just kind of were like sick of it by the end. It made the movie like sour for me. I think I saw this trailer once at the theater. I never saw it online. I saw no one talking about it. I saw no press junkets. I looked up after we were looking up how to pronounce the director's name, right? Jorma. And I was like, oh, he was on Seth Meyers. I was like, who the fuck watches Seth Meyers? I had no idea that was a thing, right? Like, I only see that stuff if it hits like social breakouts. And I feel like it's awesome that this movie made it to theaters. I'm so glad I weathered the hangover and we went with like a group and it made it so much more fun. I think it is fucking criminal to prejudge that this is not a moneymaker and to not market the shit out of this movie.
I think next weekend, this movie will be in more theaters.
It could be. I feel like what's going to happen with this is it's going to hit. This feels to me like a Hulu or HBO Max movie, and it's just going to fucking go like wildfire. Crazy. Everyone who watches this is going to immediately send it to someone else. You got to watch this. Or, hey, come over and watch this fucking movie again so you can watch people watch it. Yeah. And I think it's sad that, like, even as the movie alluded on the talk show, right? Like, this sadly will be a streaming movie for most people. And again, this is as theatrical as an experience as you should have.
It's going to be a hell of a streaming experience, too. Imagine watching this. Imagine never hearing about this movie at all. 5 years from now, it's 3 a.m., you're high as fuck.
Yeah, you think it's like some kind of weird romantic comedy?
You're like, I'll give this a shot. I'm going to fall asleep probably. And then you just love it. I feel like that's oftentimes better.
No. See, you're doing the bit at the end of the sometimes maybe streaming's better in some way.
Sometimes it is.
For some movies, yes. Like, you know, if I'm watching whatever, Nuremberg, that's a
streaming movie.
Yeah, that's not better in theaters than it was watching it on my couch on Netflix, right? And just being able to
that's like a very personal movie, yeah.
Yeah,
I get what you're saying. This is a group event.
This is such a wild, manic, fun. Any movie where you're gasping, screaming, and laughing, that's what you go to the theater for. I don't go to the theater to just fucking look at giant pictures of fucking spaceships and robots and whatever. I want that energy. That's what the theater provides that streaming will just never fucking capture. That said, though, most of the movies we loved that when we were growing up, you just found VHS tapes and you'd watch them with your buddies and you'd have that experience.
It's part of the magic. There's magic all around.
Yeah, I think the problem with streaming is so much of it that I do. It's just, it's like you said, it's like I had my edible and now I'm in my boxers. I'm just kind of like zoned out watching.
And that's most movies. But I feel like this movie would keep you up.
This one would blow my mind still. But I'm so glad we had this experience today.
Oh, and there were, 8 of us in the theater? But just between me and your mom laughing, everybody, if it was a packed house, that would have been even better.
And Nick, every single time someone got hit in the head, and this movie they all have brain damage.
Yeah.
But every single time someone got hit in the head, Nick went, ooh.
Yeah. No, it's
graphic.
It's weird because it's so funny and like that it becomes almost cartoonish, but the violence doesn't lose its punch, right? No. Like we talked about They Will Kill You, which I feel bad. I keep bringing this up as my example of movies, the movie that does things wrong. But the violence in that is so pointless and meaningless.
The problem is
even if it's graphic. This is cartoonish and it's in the midst of a comedy, but still fucking hurts your body. It's still mean
It's
and
because
scary.
they tie it to reality.
Yes.
Like, everything seems real about this, except for the story.
Yeah.
In the most absurd way, it still feels
Kind of like
meatier. Yeah.
But the story in itself, they kind of poke fun of, like, that was your plan to kill me? That was awful. You're
Well, I
not
think
going to
that's
get away
just
with
to showcase
that.
that they're both kind of idiots.
Yeah,
and they
but
didn't
then
really think it through.
when they fight, neither one of them are good fighters. Everything
Yeah.
hurts. He's down for a couple of beats when he gets hit. So is she, and it gives everybody time to like hang and get their point. It seemed real. It felt real.
The thing is, they're not good at anything, right? He's not a good director. She's not a good actor.
Yeah, we see it.
The dad was right. They needed a war, and then everything is okay.
Well, we saw the movie at the end. They're clearly not good at making movies. That's going to be the worst movie ever. Yeah, I don't know. You know what I feel the worst about? I feel like we've been in a bad run here.
Yeah.
Where we watched a lot of movies where it's like, I don't love that one. We're in the kind of like...
We have, for sure.
We're in the slop phase before like the really good stuff starts hitting. And this is the one Heath missed.
This is the really good stuff. The really good stuff
I would
is hit.
imagine Heath would love this fucking movie.
Heath will see it.
Yeah, I think he will. But I mean, I think he would have loved being in the theater with all of it. Like, that experience is something I'll really treasure. I can't remember the last time I had this much fun in a movie theater.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you might have to go. I remember watching Everything
Rabbit
Everywhere
for
all
me.
at once in the theater and just being like, this is one of the most glorious cinematic experiences of my life.
Oh, God. Don't get
And,
me
like-
started on everything, everywhere.
Yeah, fuck
everywhere,
off.
everything,
You're just wrong.
Everything, everywhere.
You're just wrong.
Okay.
It's fine.
What does
But-
that title even mean?
But that's what I was...
Anyways.
We're not doing that. We're not doing a sub pod. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I will rank it up there with those kinds of movies. This was one of the most fun movies I've ever sat through in a theater. It just had a great fucking experience that I will remember forever, man. All right.
Agreed.
Well, I want to give a second before we go into like messed up stuff. The only thing I knew the director from was Lonely Island. Then we looked up before we went, I have not
I
seen
didn't
a
realize
trailer.
he did MacGruber.
Yeah, and it's like MacGruber, and I like Popstar. I'm one of the few people who thinks that's a better movie than people give it credit for because it's
Was that a
not just
satire of Rockstar?
Bieberish
Bieber.
character.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
so
I
a little
missed
bit. And I was expecting we listened to songs from the Lonely Island there because I'm like, oh, this is just going to be super lighthearted. I was engaged in their relationship. I cared about the fight because for a while I'm like, why doesn't he just get a divorce? I don't get why he has to kill her. And then
They
explained that well,
good
but I
writing.
hung on that for a while. It was
Great writing.
a perfectly directed movie for what it was.
Really
He
was.
did a fantastic
And those
job.
stories, dude, you hear about those stories all the time, and you always think, why the hell would you just kill?
That used to be my hungover morning thing is I'd just watch Investigation Discovery back when I had cable, and every one of them's that. I found another woman I like having sex
Yeah.
with, but if I kill my wife, I'll get
I'll get
money
money.
too. It's always that story.
Human beings are pieces of shit.
Yeah, I think this movie covers that pretty well. But I will say, yeah, I did not appreciate Yorman's directing enough. Because to me, MacGruber is the most underrated comedy of all time.
Oh, so
That
good.
is one of the most uproariously hilarious movies ever. And it just kind of went, and everyone's like, oh, it's like another stupid SNL thing. So fucking good. In this movie, to me, I was like, the level up in directing was so fucking impressive to me.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what directors do, but it seemed pretty good.
That's where we needed Patith to help us out.
Yeah.
What the
All
fuck
right.
are directors there for, Heath?
Yeah, what do directors do?
Aren't they just managers?
Yeah, you just take
They
our
just manage
perfectly written scripts and do what exactly?
Try to make it like your own
do
ideas.
what, Heath?
Fuck.
Yeah, cool pressing of buttons, Heath. No, okay. Sam,
Directors don't press buttons. Heath's the low rent director that has to press his own buttons. An actual
we're just
director
fucking bagging.
doesn't
Heath,
press
your
buttons.
entire profession and goals are bullshit.
Yeah.
We don't respect you. No,
He's
I'm
got to
kidding.
press his own freaking buttons.
You're here because you can't change your own tire, so it's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
This is why
A
we
real
get to bag
director
on
couldn't
you.
change his tire.
Yeah, you need to direct your ass back to high school
Yeah.
and learn how to change a tire, dude. No, that was mean. Sorry, Heath. There's no reason for that. Sam, what was the most messed up moment in Over Your Dead Body?
What was the friend's name? Henry?
Mhm.
I feel like when Henry got shot, but not even that. I feel like the most messed up point was when they were at the circus or the fair planning the murder, and he's like, man, I just really want to hang out with you. He's like, he basically said he's not his friend, right?
Yeah.
He's like, okay, well, we're not going to have a contract. We're not going to do all this stuff. And it just, I guess the entire Henry
It cuts to him by himself at the little dance show with the
Yeah.
mascots, and he's trying to vibe, but he's alone.
And you find out that he just got out of prison. So, like, this guy's obviously taking advantage of him. So, I guess when Henry died, I feel like that was probably the only the only real messed up moment. Everybody else in
I
this
don't
movie,
agree with that at all, but it's a sad
everybody
moment.
else in this movie deserved everything they got.
Yeah, that's pretty much true.
Yeah.
Not Kevin. Justice for Kevin and Henry. But yeah, the whole Henry thing is kind of the last, like, oh, and then it's like, fuck everyone else.
Fuck everybody else.
Nick, what was the most messed up moment in Over Your Dead Body?
Well, since you're letting me go, I'm definitely going to take the lawnmower scene.
Yeah.
And it's not even
Yeah.
his dad dying. It's just the couple of fingers. And
Yeah.
because not only
Made
do
it
you
real.
lose, I don't know, 2 or 3 fingers and you see him fly off, it's while he's there close, it's cold, it's winter, you can see his breath, and the blades are just pushing it out, back in his face. I'm like, oh, this is gross. This is gonna.
And the thing about
this is
that
gonna
scene,
work.
too, is how fucking long they hold him there. Like, he's over that. Like, again, my mom was literally teary-eyed, like, pushing into her seat, just, no. Because she was in such anticipation. They held that for so...
Well, and you
the
gotta
moment
think-
they flipped that lawnmower over, she started fucking reacting.
Yeah.
And holding him. And then what? 20 seconds in, the fingers go.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like another 20, 30 seconds of just like, there's no fucking way I'm about to see this. And your heart is just pounding. And mercifully, when the dad got it, it was like stomach first.
Yeah.
So we didn't have to see someone's head get fucking
Yeah, I feel like they
evaporated.
missed the mark. They could have had the head in there. I feel like that would have been
I
good.
mean, there was plenty of other head trauma, so they still checked the box.
Before we move on from that, I just want to point out a script writing and the idea, like, just to showcase the detail that they put into the script. Like when Timothy Olyphant pulls the lawnmower, he pulls it on the first time and it starts going. And in the distance, you can hear it very faintly. Segel is going, God, or he's going, what the fuck? Because earlier in the movie,
he couldn't get it started.
he couldn't get it started.
It's like,
and like you wouldn't notice that, but like for some reason in my mind I noticed it and I was like, oh, that's so good.
Yeah, well, even the
like
thing,
he's about to get murdered and he cares about looking like
He couldn't get
less
his
of a
own
man
lawnmower
Yeah.
started.
in front of
well,
Timothy.
he's trying to clean the gutter with this like claw thing that comes back as a
I
weapon.
didn't even think about
like,
that.
Dude,
Yeah.
every
everything
little thing.
was in there. It's
This movie was
incredibly
written
tight
by
script.
British people for sure.
Well, they were from Norway, right?
Yeah, we looked it up. We didn't look up where they're from, but man, this is
one of them had a
one
name, but yeah.
of the fucking best scripts
It's so good.
I've seen in a theater in forever. It's fucking great.
What's your moment?
If I'm going to pick the most messed up moment, I have to go with Juliette Lewis's foot reconstruction. That scene is fucking insane. You know what? Because that one's so good. I actually lied.
Yeah.
The most fucked up scene in the movie is definitely the let's play.
Don't get
Yeah.
fucked.
Let's play. Don't
I was
Get
going to say,
Fucked.
we can't go through the
Like,
movie. We're leaving that one for you.
You cannot not pick the putting Jason Segel in a circle with Keith Jardine, who takes his shirt off and he's jacked, and it's like, we're going to play
Still
Don't
jacked.
Get Fucked.
Keith Jardine has to be like 50, right?
You would think, right? And then, yeah, Jason Segel runs away, and you're like, oh, thank God. No, they bend his ass over the table.
Hold his
and
arms
Keith
down on the
Jardine
pool
is there
table.
fucking trying to get hard.
Yeah.
Well, Timothy Olyphant's talking about his movie. You're like, no. And again, that's another one of those masterful directing things, right? Like the director with the editor and this and that,
You
like
got too intense.
controlling that pacing.
Yep.
Right? Of knowing how long you can make us sit in a scene. This movie makes the balloon so fucking big and just knows kind of when to pop it at the right moment. Because
It's got to be like 10
anticipation
minutes.
of these
Yeah.
moments
It's
is
got to be,
crazy.
that scene has to at least, just him being over the table
Yeah.
has to be 10
It
minutes
felt
of
like
the movie.
he was cheeks out for so long. And again, it's like the lawnmower. It's like, that's not going into that, right?
No.
That's not going to happen. That
Well,
can't
and then
be a
how
thing.
Timothy ends it, like he gets done, waxing poetic about his movie and how much he loves it. So you're thinking, oh, is this how they actually get out of it? And then immediately afterwards, he's like, okay, continue on. And you're right back into that same
And
feeling.
it's like, no, God, no.
You thought you were out of it, but you're right back into it. And
Yeah.
then Keith Jardine saves the audience by not being able to get an erection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh
Thank
my
God.
God, I never would have thought that would have been what saved me from having to watch this.
Well, it's a brilliant moment, too, because it's one of those you're like, oh, he likes his movie. Or is he going to cut a deal to have
Yeah.
them try to take the wife? It's just
So
it's
good,
just a
man.
movie that just it never fucking misses. I think, again, it took me a minute to settle into the movie
Yeah.
because it just was so not the journey
You
I
just
was
have to
expecting.
get past the initial Australian assault from Samara Weaving.
I
where
will
it's like,
say
what
that
the
was
fuck is she
that
talking
really
about?
was throwing me for a loop. Where like the first time she talked, she's like, "You park so close to the bushes." I was like, I was like, "What is that?" It's not the beautiful sultry tones that we get from Brody when he sends us the amazing Instagram voice messages that we all love.
That's not what I thought Australian said.
That Australian I like.
Yeah.
Samara Weaving, I was kind of like, oh, God.
She must be from the west side.
Yeah, it's like when, we used to party and you'd go to like a small town to like, hey, we'll go drink with some townies. And there's that old lady who's on like her 3,000th pack of Marlboro
That's
Red.
what she sounded like.
She's like, hey, come over here, honey. I'll snap your dick off. And you're just like, you're like, baby,
Like this lady is collecting cats or something, but she's so beautiful.
She's so
it's like
dude,
it's
that
like
scene when they came back and she was like in the turtleneck, I was just like, God, she's just a fucking,
Jesus Christ.
just like a lovely, beautiful woman that just
I'd let
has
her
this
murder
voice
me.
of a fucking gruff,
I would let
gruff trucker.
Samara Weaving murder me for insurance money.
And you're in the cult of Samara Weaving, too.
I am in the cult.
Yeah.
You're in the cult, that's
I
right.
forgot that I was in that. That's another thing, as I was talking to Nick, is like, you should remember the cult you're in, because someday you may have to go to a meeting or something.
You're going to hear her talking like, oh, fuck, I'm out.
That's what I mean. I'm in the American
She's good
voice
at accents.
Samara Weaving cult. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in the American.
I will say, when they were in the car, it was like getting punched in the nuts a little bit. Where I was like,
What was the joke he made about it? It's like everything you say.
yeah, he's like,
sucks.
it sounds so mean in your shitty accent. And I was like, okay, the movie's even in on it.
Yeah.
That we rarely ever have heard her talk like that, right? Yeah, that was another.
If that's even her actual voice, I don't know.
That's her real voice.
That's her real voice.
Yeah, that's her real voice.
Do we have any notes? I mean, is it just, won't it change a thing?
I don't think I would change anything.
Yeah, to me,
you know,
this
the only
is
thing I
as
want?
close to a perfect movie as I've seen in a while.
I would love. This is the only movie. Probably not the only movie, but one of the few movies I've watched where I'm like, I would love to see some alt endings. I would love to see like 2 or 3 different endings to this movie.
Oh, yeah.
Had they done the Clue or Wayne's World where it kept like scrolling back and we redid it?
I feel like that could have been cool. But also, man, dude, just live. Whoever made this movie, you did great.
Yeah. And again, it's a different kind of movie than Project Hail Mary, which I think will be one of the best by the end of the. This is just so perfectly right up my alley. It's right up Misfit Parade's alley. It's exactly the kind of movie we want to do on this pod every week. So that to me gives it the edge over other great movies I'll see this year, right? If I see something that awesome again this year, I will be ecstatic. Like I'd be shocked if anything like really is much better than this.
That'd be incredible.
Yeah. That's it for Over Your Dead Body. People, I'm telling you, please do yourself a favor. Get at least 3 of your friends. Go with a small cluster. We were the only group in the theater, and then there were 2 guys in the front row sitting in the same row, but not together, which was bizarre. That's a theater. No, don't do that. Just move seats. Get a group of your friends. Go see this with as many people as you can. I fucking promise you that is how this movie should be absorbed, right? Take some friends and go have one of the wildest rides you'll ever have in a theater. Make sure you go to Indiegogo and type in Mr. Cream Jeans, our first movie, which hopefully you will also see in a theater someday. You can get the perk where you can join this podcast to do a messed up movie draft with us and help us get our first movie out into the world. We're getting closer and closer all the time, and that support helps get us to that finish line, which we appreciate. Go to the Messed Up Movies Podcast Patreon page, the best way to support and grow this podcast, to get all of our episodes on Black Mirror, Tales from the Crypt, Alien Earth. Huge library of Patreon exclusive episodes over there. Make sure you're subscribed to Misfit Parade, especially on YouTube, so you can see video versions of the pods and other cool stuff coming down the road. We'll see you next time.